Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're getting married. It's so easy to get completely swept up in all the planning, right? The outfits, the guest list, where you're gonna go for the honeymoon. But today, we're gonna talk about the stuff that really builds a happy, peaceful marriage for the long haul. Exactly. Everyone's planning this one big party, but are you actually planning the life that comes after it? You know, these are the conversations that build that solid foundation you can count on, and it doesn't matter if it's a love marriage or an arranged one. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to dive into 6 key areas that you absolutely have to talk about. Think of this as your roadmap to building a partnership that can really truly last.
First things first, your emotional styles. This is all about getting how you and your partner handle the tough stuff, stress and arguments, but also how you connect. Because sometimes what feels like a personal attack is really just a completely different way of coping.
Okay, just look at this because this scenario is so incredibly common. Maybe after a fight, you need to talk it out right away to feel okay. But your partner, they shut down, they need space. It can feel like they don't care. But a lot of the time, it's not about a lack of love, it's just a different emotional style. Getting this is a total game changer. And that leads right into this next huge question. Think of communicating love like speaking a language. If you're showing love in a way your partner doesn't understand, the message just gets lost in translation. So how do you make sure your partner actually feels that love you're sending their way?
So think about it. Do they feel most loved when you do something helpful for them, like an act of service? Or maybe it's all about getting a thoughtful gift, or just having your undivided attention? And what about when you're upset? Do you need to call your mom to sort things out while your partner thinks family drama should stay between the two of you? Knowing these things is just fundamental to feeling seen and supported.
All right, let's switch gears from the language of love to the language of money. I know, it's not exactly romantic, but listen, money issues are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, reasons couples fight and even split up. So, getting on the same page now, it's absolutely critical.
And here are the major topics you've got to cover. Are we going to be 100% open about everything? What about any debts we're bringing into the marriage? How are we handling bank accounts? Joint, separate, a little of both? You've got to talk about who pays for what, how you're going to budget, and even how you each feel about investing money. And this right here is the bottom line. It honestly doesn't matter if one of you makes way more than the other. What matters is that you're a team. You need a shared plan, a shared agreement on how you're going to manage your money together. Okay, so we've talked about emotions and money. Now let's get into the real nitty-gritty, daily life. This is all about your everyday habits, how clean you like the house, your morning routines, what you eat, your social life. These little things, they add up and become big things fast.
The classic. Who's doing what around the house? Seriously, nothing can test a relationship faster than a sink full of dirty dishes. Talking about who's going to handle which chores before you're living together can save you so much headache and resentment later on.
And what about your social energy? If one of you is a social butterfly who loves being out all the time, and the other is a homebody who needs quiet nights to recharge, you have to figure out a balance. If you don't, one of you is going to feel drained all the time, and the other might feel lonely. Okay, let's take a deep breath for this next one, because it can be sensitive, but it's so important. Your families. Remember, you aren't just marrying your partner. You're marrying into their entire family system. You've got to talk about those expectations with in-laws right from the start. I love this because it's such a powerful way to reframe it. Setting boundaries isn't about being mean or pushing people away. It's about protecting your new family unit so it has a healthy space to grow. And honestly, that's better for everyone in the long run.
So what do you actually need to talk about? Well, how much say will your in-laws have in your major life decisions? If you're going to live with parents, what are the rules? The biggest things are making sure there's mutual respect for both families, and that you both understand you'll need your own space as a couple. You can't just cross your fingers and hope it all works out.
All right, let's look ahead now. Beyond the daily grind, what kind of life are you trying to build together? It is so important to make sure that your individual dreams can still fit together in the same picture. And these are the big ones, the major building blocks of your future. The kid question, yes, no, how many? What about your careers? Is moving for a job on the table? What would happen if one of you wanted to take a few years off work? These things can seriously shake up a marriage if you haven't talked them through. And here's some really good news. Your dreams do not have to be identical. The real magic isn't in having the exact same goals. It's in your ability to support each other's dreams and be flexible.
Can you be their biggest cheerleader, even if it's not what you would choose? That's what really matters.
Okay, our final topic, and it's a huge one. We're talking about your core beliefs. This is the stuff at your very center, your morals, your spiritual beliefs, even your politics.
Now, you don't have to agree on everything. You really don't. But you absolutely must respect where the other person is coming from. And maybe even more important is figuring out how you're going to handle it when you do disagree. That is a non-negotiable.
And honestly, this is what this entire conversation has been about. A great marriage isn't one where there's no conflict. That's impossible. A great marriage is when two people have decided they're going to face their differences as a team, with respect and with love.
I want to leave you with this idea because it's just so powerful. Your partner might be an amazing person, a really good human being, but that doesn't automatically mean they're the right, compatible partner for you. That compatibility is what you build a life on.
Look, having these conversations before you get married, it might feel a little awkward or even scary. But trust me, it is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your future selves. This is the work that can save you years of confusion and pain and put you on the path to a marriage that is truly peaceful and connected. Thanks so much for joining me today.